Okay, so this morning I'm going to do a video on bird food. I've had a lot of people talk to me about the different kinds of bird food and what's better to buy for your bird, depending on many different things. So I'm going to try to do a really fast-talking video about bird food and what to look for. Now, every bird is different, so I'm going to try to do like a general thing for every bird as I think of them. But I'm going to start with bird seed. Now, bird seed in general I don't suggest for most birds. The exception is cockatiels, which seem to do very good on a seeded diet. I like to do a half and half if I can. My birds eat mostly pellets with some seed. The breeder that I buy from does like a half and half kind of deal. I've seen people give their birds or their cockatiels just seed and they're fine. So it's really just a preference thing. I feed pellets simply because my Rosella eats pellets, and she's actually in the same cage as one of my cockatiels because they're the best friends. And that's just what worked for me, and they both eat them, so we're cool. So birdseed. You can go from like the crap range to the really good range, depending on where you get your birdseed, essentially. Now, you can go to the dollar store and get birdseed, which is quite disgusting, but you can do it. A lot of times they're called parakeet seed, which is usually the old-fashioned term for budgie. I would suggest to stay away from that like the plague. Essentially what that is millet. A whole bunch of millet with a little bit of grass seed mixed in. It's like feeding your bird candy. Sure, it'll satisfy them, and you know they really like it. But let's face it, it's millet. It's like giving candy to a kid. Of course you're gonna like it. So that's like at the absolute lowest. Another people are under this misconception that you can feed your bird just sunflower seeds. And you can actually buy just sunflower seeds for wild birds. That is not good. Sunflower seeds are really high in fat, which means that for your bird to be full, it's got to eat a lot of them, but they're really fatty, so your bird's going to be overweight, which makes them unhealthy, which means in the long run your bird is not going to live as long as of a healthy life. Next up from that would be a mix of the two. Again, not very good. A little bit more variety, so maybe like 0.5 better than the just sunflower seeds or just millet. Again, try to stay away from those. Next after that, you can get the little bit more of a mixed brand. I know Hart's makes one, and I've seen that one quite often at grocery stores. Some pet stores sell it. That is actually not a good mix at all. There's not very much of it, and again, it's loaded with a lot of sunflower seeds and a lot of millet. So what they say, what a lot of people get, what gets them to buy it is that their birds really eat it. Like they'll eat it like crazy because it's filled with the bird candy. So yes, your bird is going to like it because it's junk. There are other things inside those mixes normally, but mostly seeds, and you can actually get a little bit better than that, so I'm going to keep going and say the next best one, which is actually closer to the top of my list, and that is a fortified diet. And essentially what a fortified diet is that it doesn't just have seeds in it, it's got fruits and vegetables as well. And what that essentially gives your parrot is a bigger variety of bird food. Now, I would say that a fortified diet is probably one of the best of the bird seeds you can get for your bird. I always suggest pellets. I'll get to those in a second. But fortified diets are the way to go if you have to feed your bird seeds. Now, in 100% honesty, Goonie does eat a seed diet. Most of that is because he is an older bird, and with being shuffled around from different homes, different people think that, you know, different things are better to feed your bird. And when the bird left the breeder the first time, he was eating a pellet diet. When he returned to the breeder continued to feed him this pellet diet. But when he moved north, the previous owner, from me, decided that Goonie didn't like the pelleted diet. Now, I'm not sure if this was just a misconception that Goonie wasn't eating as much as she thought he would, or he wasn't eating very much. Now, this could have been because the owner smokes in the house. He may have not been feeling good from just that, or the environmental change. He went from 6 or 7 hours south of here, which is a warmer climate, to somewhere that's a little bit colder. So he could have been feeling a bit of a mix of not feeling good because of the smoking and not feeling good because of the traveling and the temperature change. There could have been a lot of different things, but I guess she decided that he didn't like that, so she went out and bought him a seed mix. Now, of course, every bird is going to eat a seed mix over a pelleted mix because essentially it's like candy. They really like the taste. Some people will argue and say that if the bird likes to eat it, then give it to them. Goonie is on a particular seeded diet called Fiesta Max. He was eating the original Fiesta, but I upgraded him, I guess you could call it, to the Fiesta Max because it has a little bit more fruits and vegetables inside of it. It's also fortified with omega-3 and omega-6, which is very good for your bird. But I still want to get him on a pelleted diet. Which brings me to my favorite diet on the entire face of the planet, which is a pelleted diet. Now, pelleted diets are generally the same across the board. They are usually what you would call an extruded diet, which means that all of the fruits and vegetables and seeds, if it may be, that your bird needs is put into the same pellet. It's essentially like dog food. So your bird can't go through and pick out what it likes and what it doesn't like, which is a huge disadvantage for having a seed mix. Your bird can pick out all the sunflower seeds and leave the rest. With an extruded diet, they can't do that. It's all or nothing. They're either eating it or they're not. So that's what I really like about pelleted diets is first and foremost. They can't pick and choose what they want to eat. They have to eat the whole pellet. Next, there's a significant less amount of waste in a pelleted diet because they actually eat the whole pellet. With a seeded diet, a lot of the times these things are shipped and sold by weight. Because only the inside of the nuts or seeds are eaten, that means that you're paying for the husks of the seeds or the nuts. So really, you're paying a lot of money for extra stuff that really the bird can't eat. With a pelleted diet, although you might be paying a little bit more, I actually find that they're, I would say, roughly about the same amount. The pellets that I'm ordering for Goonie are $13, and the bag of bird food that I buy from him currently is $30. So even if I have to buy 2 bags of pellets, I'm still saving in the long run because I'm only paying $26 for 2 bags of pellets that he will eat the entire thing over $30 for a bag of seed mix that he can't eat all of. So really, you save in the long run. There are generally 2 different kinds of pelleted diets. You can get a fruit-flavored diet or a natural or vegetable-flavored diet. My birds prefer the fruit-flavored diet, but I do try to mix in some of the natural stuff in there too, just so that they have a bit of a mix. Kia prefers the natural-flavored diet, but he will eat the fruit-flavored one. One downfall about the fruit-flavored diet is that they tend to be a little bit more, there's a little bit more sugar in those kinds of diets because of the color. Natural diets tend to not have that. They are natural color. There are many different kinds of pellets on the market. Zupreme makes one that is what I feed. Harrison's makes a pellet. I think Rowdy Bush is another one. A lot of these diets are from the States, and we don't hear about them very much being so far up north. Zupreme is one of the most widely spread. Same with Katie. They make a diet. It's called the Exact diet. So yeah, there's lots of different kinds to pick and choose from. Converting your bird is not that hard if your bird is a young bird. Older birds, it's going to be harder. There are usually conversion methods on the back of every bird food, either way, like if you get a seed diet or a pelleted diet. So if you are wondering about that, you can always check the back of the bag. I will try to post another video soon or later today about converting for all of you guys that are interested. I hope you learned something because your bird's diet is very, very important for its lifestyle and its health. And I hope that you consider changing your bird from a pelleted diet to a seed diet to a pelleted diet if you've watched this video.